Okay, so in this video, we're going to solve several issues, right? So we created our new slide, and that's all great. And we got to see that slide pop up in our API, which is also great. But what was not great is that we actually said to have a featured image be one of the fields on this. And well, we don't have any featured images here. Where do we get that? Typically, you'd go to screen options and you'd expect it to be here, not here. What we need to do is enable add theme support post thumbnails in our functions.php file, and all of a sudden, magically, it's going to show up. So let's head to our code and let's head into our WordPress folder where we're going to once again dive into the WP content, themes, post slide headless WordPress, and then we're going to go into the functions.php. Now, in this file, we can write at anywhere in this file. If you want to actually have it more organized, you could throw it into another one of these files or make a new one for images or something. I'm honestly just going to throw it at the bottom here. And we can do add underscore theme underscore support. And then inside of here, we just have a string where we need to say post thumbnails. Okay, that's it. Let's actually add a semicolon on here so it doesn't flip out. And we should actually see this working once we refresh our page. Again, add theme support and then post thumbnails just like we have here. Let's go ahead and check this out. I can refresh this page. You can see that my featured image is already showing up here. If it's not for you, you're going to want to click screen options and then select featured image. And it may be over here. Let me close the screen images. Yours may be over here. You can click it and drag it and right here and have it big up, and right in here is our featured image. Now, what's funny about this is we actually talked about this featured image as just being sort of a featured image, but really it's the slideshow image. And so it'd be really nice if we could change that headline. We can do that if we come into CPT UI and we edit our post types, and then we have our slide. Let's go ahead and do a find for featured. You can see featured image will be the phrase for the post type. So we can just say slide image. And then we could say set slide image remove. It seems like they should allow you to have an easier way to do this image, but that's all right. And our slide image, let me just copy and paste. Let me just copy this, paste it in here and say use. Okay. And let's see if this actually makes it a little bit less like, the featured image and more like the slide image. I'm going to save this. I'm going to head back to our slides here. I'm going to select our new slide and select edit. And you can see it now says slide image. That's going to be a little bit more explicit for someone who's using this thing. Okay. Now at this point, we're going to go ahead and say select slide image, and we're going to go ahead and upload a file. Now I have some lovely photos of the Denver skyline here that I'm going to use. So I'm just going to drop these in here, and I'm going to use these individual. I'm going to set slide image right now, and there it is in all of its glory. New slide one. We can just say this Denver skyline. Okay. And we can click update. Now, what's great about this is we now have our image attached to our post, which is what we're going to need for a slideshow, right? But if we were to head to our API and let's refresh our slide API call that's grabbing each individual slide, we're going to see something a little unfortunate. If we scroll down here, we do see featured media, which gives us a number, not super helpful. And then featured media down here gives us another API call. And if you select this API call, it gives you all of the information you might actually want, like the URL to where this thing is actually living in the WordPress system. And now this isn't going to cut it. Say we have 5 images in our system. Not only would we have to load 5 images, but we'd have to do 5 separate API calls just to get each image after the main API call. So I am not down with this. What I am down with is how easy it is to actually get the path from our images in this actual listing. One of the cool things that we can do with the WordPress API that we haven't done yet is add a query parameter to this to allow us to embed our content, our images. If we head back to the WP JSON, let me scroll up. And if we come in here and search for underscore embed, you'll see it doesn't even show up as an option anywhere in here. So the WordPress API, again, it could be a little bit nicer to let us know that we have that option, but this is just something you're supposed to have to Google, I guess, or do some learning, or maybe you find out about it through a tutorial series. So let's go ahead and add a question mark underscore embed. And now that we have this underscore embed here, if we scroll down, we should see an embedded section with WP featured media. And then inside of that object is going to be our actual media details, where we have access to the thumbnail, the medium, large, all these versions of our image. And so this is exactly perfect, exactly what we want. And now we can have our image, we can grab the source URL, and we can output it onto our page. So in the next video, we're going to do exactly that. We're going to hit our API, we're going to get a list of all of our slides, and we're going to output their images, and then we're going to write them into a slideshow. Now, just to get this up and running, I will be using a third-party slideshow here. We're not going to be writing our own slideshow. In my own projects, I might use a JavaScript-specific slideshow and not a React slider. But for this example, again, this isn't going to be about writing a slider. It's going to be about getting this information into our headless WordPress site and getting these images up here. From there, we're going to move on to some custom field stuff, and we're going to get that working in here as well. So as always, this is Scott with Level Up Tutorials. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.